In each case, it's just one track, so to speak. So we've got the sound that enters this acoustically, the sound that gets transduced acoustically into an electric signal. So the idea of recording and mixing later was not a thing. You had to basically set up people at different distances, pointing different directions, listen to what it sounded like, and then say, that's great, stay exactly where you are, and get a perfect take.
Yeah. And it's actually a very tricky microphone because the closest microphone is probably like something like an M50, the Neumann. So it's an omnidirectional microphone, but directional at higher frequencies. And so even moving, between here and here, if you're close to the microphone, makes a dramatic impact on the sound, even though it's omni, because the higher frequencies are directional.
What were the main differences then, moving from here to here in the terms of flexibility and sound quality?
Yeah, so the biggest issue with this approach is it just always has to be loud, essentially, because you're acoustically having to move the diaphragm, and so things like bands and opera singers, anything that can get loud is good. But it's really not an option to record like a subtle blues guitar or like a subtle voice. It's not really an option. So either they would choose the music to fit that, or someone who played a certain way would have to change how they would play, to get it on the wax okay. Next, the response is limited. So the high frequency response, is largely limited by how stiff that diaphragm is and how large the diaphragm is, and the low frequency by how large the opening is on the horn. So you might use a horn like this for a vocal, and then for a band, you might use a bigger horn for better low frequency response. But it's still nothing to what you can do with a microphone electric recording.